Ladies and gentlemen, gather around because tonight's feature, it ain't your average popcorn and scream type of story. Nah, The Man in the Basement is a psychological pressure cooker dressed like a real estate deal gone wrong. We stepping into the mind of Charles Blakely, a black man standing in the same house, 8 generations built. Now he ain't trying to lose it to the system that stole everything else. Bills high, hopes are low, and here comes Anesthesia Bennett, a white man, press slacks, and colonizer calm, knocking at the door with 65,000 in cash, talking about,
"Can I rent your basement?"
this not an offer, that's a test. What happens next ain't about ghosts, it's about history. It's about what happens when black survival and white guilt get locked in the same house and the walls start remembering everything America tried to forget. Now let me tell you something about The Man in the Basement. This ain't no regular haunted house story. This is what happens when ghosts ain't dead, they just wearing suits and calling it business. The film opens up with Charles standing in his family's old Sag Harbor home. That same house that held 8 generations of pride, pain, and unpaid reparations. But the dream done dried up. He broke, unemployed, and the bank got his hand out like it's been waiting for centuries for this. You can hear his ancestors whispering in the wood panels.
I was like, boy, don't you sell this house.
And the mortgage company whispering right back,
Bet, don't sell it.
Then out the blue walks Anesthesia Bennett. And baby, this man got a smile that make you check and see if your soul's still in your pocket. He got 65,000 in cash and a story that sounds like he is very unbelievable. Believable. Says he just need to rent the basement. Cash on deck. No questions asked. See, that's where Charles should have stopped and prayed.
Lord, help me make the right choice.
But broke don't negotiate. So let this pale ghost of a capitalism move into his basement. And from that moment, the house starts humming like it remembers slavery. Now, Bennett don't move in like a tenant. He moves in like a virus. He gets in Charles' head, rearranging his piece, plays mind games from the shadows. One minute he's all polite and mysterious. The next he's pushing Charles to the edge, making him question what kind of a man he really is. And then the real horror ain't blood and jump scares. It's watching a black man trapped between ownership and oppression in his own damn house. Every room feels colder. Every silence feels heavier until daylight feels borrowed. Then we got Narcissus Gully, sharp, calm, and rooted. She's the reminder that not all help wears a cape. Sometimes it wears truth. She tells Charles his mother African masks are worth something, but that's more than an appraisal. It's a message. Those masks, that legacy, that's culture. That's everything this man's losing while he's trying to keep up with the system that keeps collecting from him. And through it all, the story just keeps bending your brain. It's horror, but it ain't. It's thriller, but it don't chase you. It's a mirror, a slow psychological breakdown that shows how history don't live in books, but it lives in the basement, in contracts, in the fine print of opportunity when it's knocking at your door. If you need a movie to compare it to, this one sits on the same spiritual waiting room as Get Out, The People Under the Stairs, and Sorry to Bother You. But wow, those holler, The Man in the Basement just stares, quiet, creeping, confident you'll catch the message even if you don't wanna. Let's give gratitude where it's due. Charles carrying generations on his back and still trying to breathe. Narcissus seeing value in what the world tries to dismiss. And Bennett, the embodiment of the smiling kind of evil this country loves to invite in for dinner. This film ain't for folks who want answers. It's for those who want to sit with discomfort, who understand that horror for black folks ain't fantasy, it's inheritance. Every scene peels back a layer of power, money, and madness until you see the rot underneath the wallpaper of ownership. Now, When the credits roll, you don't clap. You sit still. You think. You remember how easy it is to lose something sacred trying to survive something systematic. Captain Clapback closes this book on this one. The Man in the Basement ain't just a movie, it's a warning. When you rent out your basement, make sure you ain't selling your soul. Peace.